Hi, and welcome to this presentation on the latest updates to Enterprise for February. I'm Sharon Mulligan, and in this presentation, we'll simply look at all the wonderful changes that have been brought in to bring you more value to your business. So let's jump right in with the item reordering, which was introduced there towards in the October update. And very simply, what we've now done is we've enhanced it even further. So when you come in here to purchasing and come into item reordering, so prior to this change, you were able to choose from any of your stock items and simply bulk reorder on demand when you required to fulfill all your orders for your customers. So now we've given you this option to choose from your bill of materials items. So what does this do? It allows you to very simply to manufacture your bill of material items and create the end product or make the end product all within one screen. So looking at the demand that you require from your customer orders and from any orders that are coming in from your suppliers. So by choosing here bill of materials, we tick this box. We can filter down by product group, by warehouse, by default supplier, and of course we can look at the various stock levels as you would have done with the stock items. So let's just apply filters. So by doing this now, we get to see all of the bill of material items. So those items that are ticked in the item setup for bill of materials. You can see here that the items will be displayed. You can see here, we can see cost price, what's currently on hand, what's free, so which is calculated by what's on order and what's been placed by your customers, and any minimum and maximum stock that you've also recorded in the item setup. So very simply, all I have to do is come in here to any of my bill of material items. I very simply specify the quantity I want to reorder. So I can select obviously multiple lines here if I so wish. To specify the quantities, tick the relevant lines, and very simply we get an option here to make. So rather than creating order, which you will see when choosing the stock item option here, you now get to make your end product. And of course, with the stock item option, you can of course save for later and then complete the manufacturing of those items. So let's click on make and show you what happens next. So when you click on make, it'll tell you that a goods issue and a goods receipt have been created successfully. So what does that mean? So the goods issue is for all of the components that make up your manufactured item or your bill of material item. So those items have now been issued out of stock, and the goods receipt has been created to bring your end product into stock. So if we click on OK, and of course, if you want to see those particular documents, and for anybody that's familiar already with where they're created, I can simply go into my accounting and journals function, and I will see the relevant goods receipts and goods issues created for today. It's that simple. Next up, we have bill of materials, where you are now able to make your final product, and from there you're able to edit and assign the batch numbers required, number one for your final product, and of course number two for the issues that will be created from the components that are batch controlled. So if we look here in items and in stock items, I have a parent item here or an end product here that is a bill of materials. Within that I have two components, as you can see. Both are in fact batch controlled, so that's where we've ticked them to record the batch and batch traceability, to record the quantity and the expiry dates for those items. So let's go a step further and select the relevant warehouse to make our final product. So here then we can select the relevant quantity, as you already know, and then over here you'll see another button has popped up, so we can edit the batch numbers here. So this is giving you greater flexibility, where we can now assign a batch number to your final product. So the final product has appeared here. I can click into here, I can click in and give this final product a batch number. So let's just do that. I can specify the quantity to match what I've required. I can put in a reference. I can select my expiry date. So let's do that. And I can close that. And then if we go back in again, I just want to show you this on the component issues. So this is where the components will now appear. So of course you can move across here if there's more than 2 or 3 components across the screen. And from here, from the existing components of this particular one here, I can select from the existing batch numbers. So let me take one from this batch number. So again, I can see the batch details and I can see the expiry dates. I can then go across to my second component and do exactly the same. And you can see there, it's telling me I need a quantity of 2 for the second one. So let's just do that and select a quantity of 2. Let's click on close. And now very simply click on make. And when you click on make, as would happen before, you get a goods receipt and a goods issue transactions are created. So the goods receipt to bring your final product into stock, and the goods issues are created on the basis of issuing out the relevant components. And if I want to look at that further, so for example, I can go into my batch traceability report. I can take a look here at my parent item or my final item, and I can see here that there's already 2 batches. So this is the one that we've just created. Let's just do a quick search, and you can see there's the goods receipt relating to that. And again, if I was to select any of the components, and again, if we take from this particular batch number here and search, you can see here the goods issue that's been created today, and you can see the expiry date as well. So it's that simple. I'm bringing you more value to your business. So the next feature is in relation to branch support for the SAP Business One users. So anybody that's using SAP Business One and they have branches enabled and incorporate those branches onto their transactions within Enterprise. So for the purchasing automation piece, where your invoice comes through an email and gets forwarded to the central email address to be scanned in, you can now incorporate your branch onto that purchase invoice. So just to give you a quick example here, click into purchasing, click into invoice automation. So for example, your invoice has come through from your supplier, and very simply, you can click on the more option here to edit your invoice. So if you have a default branch already defined against your users, that branch will now appear here. Otherwise, you can select the relevant branch before you continue to save and approve your purchase invoice. It's as simple as that. So let's take a look at the next feature release. So very simply what we've done is we enabled gross price lists there last year, which enabled you to tick a price list for against your customers to show the gross price, which is inclusive of VAT or tax. So through here in settings, in module settings in your organization, if you scroll down to your price lists, you will see where you have ticked is gross price list against a specific price. So once that's been ticked, and of course, when to go in then to create a sales document, so let's just do that and go into a sales order, create a new sales order. And I'm simply just going to pick a customer that I know is linked to that particular price list and add a stock item to that order. And add that in. And now very simply, if we just go to edit that line so that you can see the price details, and you will clearly see here, it clearly defines that the gross price includes tax. So you can see there that that price is inclusive of tax or VAT. So let's have a look now what we've done. So we've now brought that same support of the gross price list directly onto all of the relevant mobile apps. So let's take a quick look at that. So now let's take a look at the same order if we process that through the Cell app. So if we go to add a new order here and just select the organization and then into the order details, let's just search for the same customer and bring up that customer. And then if we come down to add our items, so if we look for that same item and select it there and finish, you will now see down here at the bottom that the gross total is after VAT. So that's the price after VAT that matches the web app now as well. So using the gross price lists all the way through to the mobile apps. So that's it. So thank you for watching and hope you get some more value out of using all these wonderful new features with Enterprise. Thank you.